Hey everybody,
Good morning.
it's Eric
I'm Melissa.
and we are Tilted K Homestead. And as you can see, we have a lot of corn here. We have four bushels of butter and sugar corn. So what are we going to be doing with this corn?
All right, so after we shuck all of our corn, we're going to be cutting some off of the cob. We're going to be freezing some on the cob whole. And the corn that we shuck off the cob, we are going to freeze some for later for our corn relish video that we're going to be making. We just don't have enough time today.
That's right.
And also we're going to be freezing some of this corn and...
Off the cob?
Yes, off the cob.
Okay.
And also canning some corn in our pressure cooker today.
And we've never pressure cooked or preserved corn before.
No, we have not.
Now, we have done this project last year.
Yes.
We will leave a link up here to that, and I'll leave a link down in the description. I think that time we did 2 bushels.
Yes.
And we blanched it.
Yeah.
And then froze it, some on the cob, some off the cob, and made the corn relish with it.
Yes.
And just as a note, we will leave a link to that up top again and down below as well. So when we bought the corn, we waited too long.
Yes, we did. And some of our corn got dried out.
That's right.
Now, it still tasted okay after being frozen, but
it was a little rubbery.
Yeah.
It was a little rubbery because it was dried out.
And today we're going to be doing all raw pack.
That's right, and we got this corn from the local farm yesterday.
Yes.
So I've heard the rule is a 5-hour rule, pick it and process it in 5 hours. Yeah. We just couldn't do that, so we're going to process it this morning.
No, we didn't get it till late last night anyway.
That's right. We got it at dinner time last night, and we just had breakfast today, and we're out here doing this. So that's what we got. Now you can see that our tables are kind of high up off the ground. That is because I put extenders on the legs, and I will show you what I did with that. So I'm setting up, and as you can see, this table is low. It's down below my waist. And if you're working over it all the time with your back bent like that, you get a pain in your lower back. So we're going to bring these tables up. And how I do that is I use 1-inch PVC pipe. I cut it to a 2-foot length, and I slip it over the legs, and that brings it up about 10 inches. I'd like to take credit for this idea. It's not my idea. I actually saw this idea on Sow the Land. Jason from Sow the Land, I will leave a link to the video that I saw it on up here, and I'll also leave it in the description. Okay, so it's pretty simple. I've got a 10-foot section of 1-inch PVC. Here's a piece of the pipe that I already had cut down, and all I'm gonna do is mark it out and cut my pieces. All right, so I'm just gonna put this on here like this, pull it out, make a mark. Once I have that mark, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to cut through, so I'm going to cut this up and it'll be ready for our tables. Okay, so I got them all cut up. I got my bottom 2 foot pegs off. Just a little rubber peg, so if you use it outside, dirt doesn't get up in. Just take a pair of pliers because they can be sticky. You take them, just give them a twist, pull them off, slip them on there. And I'll show you the difference. So that's the difference, guys. That's a good 8 inches higher. Instead of working like this, I'm straight, my back, perfect posture. So thank you, Jason from Sow the Land. Check their channel out. Let's get on to getting this corn done. Okay, so thank you to
Jason from Sow the Land.
from Sow the Land again.
We don't actually know Jason, but we watch his videos all the time.
We watch their channel. He explained how he did this. I thought it was a fantastic idea and would save our backs.
Yes,
and
to make our tables higher.
That's right, and I want to give credit where credit is due. So I didn't come up with the idea. Jason from Sow the Land, check their channel out. Right. So what are we going to do now? We're going to open this up.
Yep.
Husk
I'm going to take some of these off of the table so that I have some room.
That sounds like a plan. We're going to get it husked, and everybody knows how to husk corn. I think you wanted to count it too.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to make sure that we keep track of how many actual ears of corn are in each bushel, just so that we can get a good estimate of how much money we're actually spending on buying corn like this and doing it ourselves versus buying corn from the store.
That's right. That's right. So we're going to get that project rolling. We've got a trash can right over there. We're going to open these up. We're going to get them all shucked and get them laid out on the table, and we'll show you what that looks like. Ready to get to work?
I am.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna shuck this first. This is the first one. We're gonna see what this corn looks like.
Now, when we purchased this corn, we were told that this was not the corn that was in season right now. Actually, Silver Queen is in season, but we wanted butter sugar corn.
That's right.
So these ears are a little smaller than normal, but this is our preferred corn.
Yeah, and I'm gonna come and give you a closer look at these cobs. So far they look pretty good. I think those are gonna work out fine. Mm-hmm. We did it.
We did it.
Shucks, that's a lot of corn.
You're funny.
Hey, I'm not chucking around when it comes to corn.
All right.
All right, guys, so that is the corn shuck. That didn't take too long. What do you think? 45 minutes?
Yeah, about that.
Wasn't bad. We are getting about 60 ears per bushel.
Yeah.
So that gives us 220? No,
240.
240.
240.
240 ears of corn, roughly. Some of the corn is a smaller kernel. Looks like it wasn't quite mature enough.
Yeah, here's a good example. This one, definitely. Versus like something like this.
Yeah, like look at this thing. This is beautiful. Let's show them this, honey. Let's take this over there. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. This doesn't look super mature. And look at that. That looks beautiful. So
yeah, so nice looking ears of corn like this. These are the ones that we're probably going to freeze whole.
Just like that.
For corn on the cob, yeah.
Just like that. That sounds right. So
some nice looking ones.
We didn't lose that much either. I would say we maybe lost 2 ears per bag that were either rotted or just didn't grow out right and didn't look good, but it's pretty much done. So we're gonna get cleaned up and we're gonna start sorting this and cutting it off the cob
Yep.
as we go, and we're going to show you how we do that as well.
All right, so I'm gonna start cutting my kernels off of the cob, and we just like using a knife and a little cutting board. It just makes it so much easier. No fancy tools, just basic cutting it off the cob.
That's right.
So, I mean, you do want to have a sharp knife, but just simple and basic. It is kind of messy, but just kind of go around the cob.
And you want to get right down to the cob as close as you can, right?
Yeah.
And there is a bit of a learning curve. The first couple you do,
Oh, that's pretty close.
you might
Throw that in the trash, and then I'm gonna dump my kernels in my pot.
So I'm going to help Missy, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut this up, and any that are really, really good and look good, we're going to put to the side, and we're going to save that for just freezing on the cob.
Whole cobs. Yeah.
So we're going to put you guys back on your pedestal, and we're going to get going on this. All right, my hands hurt.
I know, that was a lot of corn that we had to cut.
That was a lot of cutting. That was the worst part, I think.
Yeah, but
so
it's done now.
It is done now. So what we have is all of this corn is corn we're going to freeze up on the cob.
Yep.
And then
So we're gonna vacuum seal this.
We're gonna vacuum seal that.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna vacuum seal that all up. And the corn kernels that we're freezing, we're going to vacuum seal those too?
We're going to vacuum seal, yes, the corn.
And then the bags are?
This is 24 cups of corn that we're going to make corn relish with.
And then we have our 3 pots, and out of our 3 pots, we're going to freeze some whole kernel, and some we're going to can.
Yes.
So let me get you guys over here, and I'll show you our pots.
So start over here. After measuring out our corn for our corn relish, we know that this silver pan is approximately 24 cups. So this is plenty of corn for us for the whole winter long.
Oh yeah, especially since how we're going to have.
Yeah, we're going to freeze the corn on the cob.
48 years or something there.
Yeah.
And then we have this pot, and that's chock full. And this is a canning pot, and that is chock full. Okay, so
like we said before, well, first of all, I got out as much air as possible out of this. We are actually going to just stick these in the freezer because we are not making our corn relish today.
No.
That's going to be a later project.
That's right. That's right.
We have enough to do today because we need to vacuum seal all of our corn that's going whole in the freezer. Then we're going to decide how many jars of corn, because we're going to pressure seal them.
We are going
pressure can them.
Yes, we are going to pressure can them, and I would suggest that we figure out how many jars of corn we want for canning corn, fill those up, and then whatever's left, we'll do freezer in the vacuum seal bags.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
We'll figure out how many jars we want for the pressure canner, and then we'll freeze the rest.
Okay, so what do? We measured out for the...
We did. We measured out for the corn that we're going to cook in the pressure cooker.
Yeah, that we're going to be canning.
Yes, that we're going to be canning in there.
And how many pints are we canning?
We're canning 20 pints. all together.
And how much corn did we need?
How much corn? We ended up calculating about 33.5 cups. So we did a even number of 34 just to be on the safe side.
That's right. And we took that
Yep.
out of these pots
Yes.
because when we go in to do the canning, I need this canner pot and this hot water pot.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to vacuum seal up all our corn on the cob and all our whole kernel corn. That will empty our pots out. That will
Yes.
get that part of the project done. And then after that, we'll move inside and get all that corn in the jars, get them in the pressure cooker, and get them processed. Okay, so I've got my 2 ears of corn in there, and I'm gonna open up my pressure can, my vacuum sealer. This foam part, you want to get this part of the bag right in there like that. Try and make it as smooth as possible, and then see this part right here? This is the part that seals it. So what I do is I make sure that that's in there just like that. Looks good. Close it up. Close it till it clicks. Hit vacuum seal. You can see it sucking in, sucking all the air out of it. And then it's sealing. And when this light goes out, the light is out, it should be done. And you can see right here, we have a nice seal, and it's nice and airtight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you guys back up in your stand, and we're gonna get all these ears of corn taken care of. All right, let's get on it.
All right, so with the corn that we're going to be vacuum sealing and freezing, we are using the smaller bags. So we're actually putting in approximately 1.5 cups of corn in each bag, because that's pretty much what you would get in a standard size can of corn. So that's what we decided.
Or in a frozen bag.
Or in a frozen bag of corn. So this is what we've decided. This is pretty much what we would use for our meal for the 2 of us. So that works out pretty well.
It does?
Yep, it does.
And then we're going to get those all bagged and sealed.
Yep.
So let's get on that.
All right.
Okay, we are done with vacuum sealing.
We are.
Now, to be honest, guys, to vacuum seal this corn, because this is a moist food, you really are supposed to lay it out on a cookie sheet and freeze it or partially freeze it first.
Yeah.
And what that does, I'm going to show you here. You can see a little bit of the moisture. The vacuum sealer sucks the moisture up in. And we have a couple of bags. Here, give me a bag that's sealed but not vacuumed.
It's sealed, but it didn't vacuum.
Yeah, so you can see this one. It's all sealed up, but it's not as vacuum sealed. Okay, because the moisture wouldn't let the bag get hot enough to properly seal. So we've got like 5 or 6 of them over there. They're sealed now because we didn't try to vacuum them out.
Yeah.
We're going to put those in the upstairs refrigerator, and those are the ones we're going to use first.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to freeze it first, then vacuum seal it. You get less of that moisture. It gets a good seal. We weren't going to take the time to do that.
No, we just wanted to do the raw pack.
That's right. We did it this way, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So we came up with, what did we say, 60?
40, no, we have 42 bags of single-use corn.
That's 2 servings.
Yeah.
And one meal for the both of us.
Yeah.
42 of those, plus a big bag here.
Yeah, I used a bigger bag because this is all the corn that we had left, and we ran out of small bags. So
we'll just put that in a chili.
I just decided, yeah, I'll just mark this and we'll use it for a chili or some kind of stew.
And we've got how many? 21?
Yes, 21 of our corn on the cob.
21 of those, so
yep.
21 meals there. 40, or how many bag meals?
42.
42 bag meals there. And we have enough corn to put up 20 cans
yes.
of canned
that
raw pack.
We actually reserved ahead of time, so that's inside.
That's inside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get cleaned up out here, and we're going to go inside. We're going to bring you with us inside, and we're going to get that canned up and in our pressure cooker.
Yeah. All right, so we are now back inside. I have my pressure canner on the stove. We don't have it turned on yet. We have jars in our pot that are getting hot. I'm ready to pull those out so that I can put more in because there's only enough space in this canner for 7 pint-sized jars. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull these out. When I did my pressure canning of the green beans, you actually pack them tightly. The corn, you do not. You have to make sure that you don't shake the jars, you just let the corn fall in there, and then you need about 1 inch of headspace. So I actually have a little too much corn in here. This
that looks about right.
Last rim down here is approximately the 1 inch of headspace that you need. And you don't pack it, you don't shake the jars or anything. So this is what we have to do. And then this is our pan. I lost my ladle. This is our pan of hot water. So once you pack the corn in there, you're going to ladle hot water into your jar, still maintaining that 1 inch of headspace. So that looks about right. So now I'm going to take my cloth over here, wipe off my rim so that I get a nice good seal. I have new lids. New lid. Put the ring on. And then same thing as for water bath, finger tight. And now this is ready for the pressure canner.
Okay, so we got them all jarred up. Let's take a look at that.
Yep.
They look delicious. We actually have a little bit extra,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna put that in a Ziploc, right, Missy?
Yeah, we're just gonna Ziploc that right now.
And we'll use it this week.
First thing that we use.
Sounds good. And you have 10 in there already?
Yep, I have 10 in there.
With a ring on the bottom.
Yep.
We got, yeah,
right.
The water is below the seals, below the lids.
Yep, so we're gonna put the divider, and then we're gonna put the rest of our jars in here.
All right, so we got it all in.
So all 20 jars are in the canner.
That looks fantastic. So what do we do now? We put the lid on it.
So the next step is to put the lid on. It takes a little bit of getting used to. because you have to find that spot, and then the lid slides right on.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we let this.
So this has to vent out for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So once the steam starts coming out, you set the timer for 10 minutes, and then you close the valve in the back and put your weights on, and that's when you start the timer. So this has to process for 55 minutes.
So 10 minutes to steam out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you close everything off so it'll build pressure. So it'll build pressure, right?
Yep.
And then you do your 55 minutes?
Yes.
And then what do we do after that?
After that, you have to turn your burner off and let it sit so it releases the pressure.
Okay.
They tell you about 10-15 minutes, but you should be following your pressure canner instructions.
Okay.
So I've read the pressure canner instructions, and on this pressure canner, you let it actually, this one has a little gauge on the top, so you actually let it go down to 0, and then you wait 10 minutes, and then you're able to release the lid.
Don't you take the weights off first?
You can take the weights off.
To make sure all the pressure is released?
You can take the weights off.
Okay.
At that point, that's when you can release the lid, and then you still let your jars sit there for, I'm pretty sure that they said 10 minutes, but I'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So we're going to process this, right? And we will show them what it looks like when it comes out of the pressure cooker.
Yeah.
All right then. So that is our corn haul. We got 42
bags of corn.
42 meal-sized bags of corn. We got 21 bags of corn on the cob with 2 corn cobs in it.
Yeah.
We got 20 pint jars of corn. We have enough corn in reserve to do 36 pint jars of corn relish.
Yep.
And we have a big bag of corn for chili.
Yep.
And a big bag of leftover corn from canning it that's probably a 2-serving bag.
Yeah.
So we got all of that from 4 bushels or 240 ears.
Yep, we ended up with 240 ears.
And our cost for 4 bushels was $140. So that's where we're at. We will be doing the corn relish in a couple of weeks. We're really busy right now, and we're not going to be able to get to that because we have to close up our camper.
Yep.
And we want to go to the orchard again and get apples.
To pick apples one more time.
So it'll be a couple weeks before we do the canning video for the corn relish. But that's it for us for today. What'd you think?
I think everything went well.
I did too.
It was just a long day.
The double level in the pressure cooker works fine.
Yes.
No issues
Being able
whatsoever.
to pressure can 20 pint jars at a time was well worth it.
Oh God, yeah, it was definitely well worth it. It was worth all the that went into it. All right, so that's it for us. We are going to get wrapped up. Once again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell. It'll tell you every time we have a video coming out.
All right, and if you're really liking and enjoying our videos, then please share them with all your friends and family on social media.
Alrighty guys, till the next one. We'll see you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye guys.